One of the most frustrating things is when you think your back pain has resolved, but then it comes back, and especially if you feel like you're doing everything right, such as the correct exercises. Now, of course, there are several reasons that back pain can be reoccurring, re-injuries and things like that. But one of the most common things that I will hear is the exercise or exercises worked at first, but now they're not working anymore. And there are a couple of reasons that that might happen. Now, one thing I like to think about or explain it as is there are phase 1 exercises, but then there are phase 2 exercises, the progressions. In the initial phase, sometimes exercises work really well because it's movement as medicine. What's happening is just by the motion, the movement, you're restoring your confidence, you're getting that joint mobility, that joint motion, so you're getting the fluid exchange within the joints, it loosens it up. Tissues are loosening up. It just feels good to move sometimes, getting that security and that confidence to resume moving. Phase 2 looks a little bit differently, and it's kind of what you need for the long-term solution. Sometimes I say there's short-term relief. That's where your phase 1 exercises might be, but then you also have the long-term solutions. And what that phase 2 might look like, it's a couple of different things, and one of those things is movement variety. There's not a single best exercise that you should do for a certain condition or for a certain person. It's usually a variety of exercises that they work well. They all complement each other. So sometimes in phase 1, we purposely keep movements. We don't want to overwhelm. So we say, here's 1, 2, 3 little things to work on that's going to kind of get you to that next level. But phase 2 might look a little bit more comprehensive. Here are some more exercises we need to do. We want to challenge more areas. And then speaking of the challenges, that's kind of the other thing with phase 2 is we want what's called progressive overload. That's where you slowly increase the resistance, the challenge of the exercise, because you want to get more adaptations in the tissues. You want to build resilience. So you get that resilience through adaptations. You get that adaptation through more challenge, more stimulus. There's a man who Craig Liebenson wrote the book Rehabilitation of the Spine, and he had mentioned one time in a seminar that I attended of his that sometimes one of the most common reasons he sees physical therapy fail is that the physical therapist didn't go far enough with progressive overload, didn't go far enough with actually building tolerance within that tissue, building that resilience. Now, he was not, and I am not calling out physical therapy, because the same thing, you could go to physical therapists, chiropractors, personal trainers, that some of them, sometimes none of them go far enough, but you can also go to great personal trainers, physical therapists, chiropractors, on, that they do understand that progressive overload and trying to get that person safely, and that's the key thing, safely. It's not pushing too hard, not pushing past things. It's that Goldilocks zone. The Goldilocks zone, I think, is a really important principle when it comes to rehabilitation, because the Goldilocks zone is the right amount. If you don't go far enough, you just don't get those adaptations and that resiliency. If you go too far, you get more injury. You gotta find that sweet spot. And that's where you either need to have good body awareness, a good understanding, and if you were trying to do the do-it-yourself approach, or you need a good physical therapist, chiropractor, personal trainer, somebody who really understands the nuances of getting you right to that perfect level. So again, this isn't about a certain profession, it's more about the idea, the mindset of where you need to do for that movement variety and for that progressive overload, build those adaptations and that resilience.